Hi, this is Ram from ramkedem.com. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use the group by clause. Basically, the group by clause allows us to group the result set by one or more columns. So in the previous lesson, we saw how we can apply group functions such as sum, average, or count on the entire table. But what if we want to perform aggregations per group? For example, instead of seeing the average monthly discount of all customers, we want to know what's the average discount per city, or country, or gender, for example. This is where the group by clause becomes very handy. Let me show you an example. Let's type the following query. Let's say select average monthly discount from customers. As we already know, this query returns the average discount of all customers. Now, let's add the group by clause and say group by gender. Let's execute again. And now we are getting two rows, each representing the average monthly discount for each gender. We can also add the gender column at the select clause. And now we can also see which number belongs to each gender. So this is a basic group by example. We are specifying the group function at the select clause, and we are specifying by which column we want to aggregate at the group by clause. As for the order of clauses, the group by clause comes after the where clause and before the order by clause. Let's see another example. What is the average monthly discount for each marital status? So again, we can say select average monthly discount from customers, group by marital status. And again, to make this query more clear, we can add the marital status to the select clause. Let's see one more example. How many customers we have in each city? We can say select count star from customers, group by city. Let's add the city column to the select clause. And now we can clearly see how many customers we have in each city. Few important guidelines. Number one, remember that the column at the group by clause can also be specified at the select clause, but this is optional, not mandatory. I've showed you this concept over the last 3 examples. We can add the city column to the select clause if we want to make the query results more clear, but again, we don't have to. Guideline number 2. All columns which we are specifying at the select clause, not including group functions, must always be mentioned at the group by clause. This one is tricky, so let me give you an example. Select count star from customers returns the amount of rows in customers table. Let's add the city column to the select clause. We want to see how many customers we have in each city. Let's try to execute. And as you can see, we are getting an error. The city column, which we specified at the select clause, must also be mentioned at the group by clause. We need to say group by city. Now we are getting the expected results. So why the previous query returned us an error? When we are executing this query without the group by clause, we are guiding the SQL engine to retrieve 2 different result sets. The count star function by itself should return only one value, representing the number of rows we have in customers table. The indication of city column, on the other hand, should return all of the contents inside city column, more than 1000 rows. Now, this doesn't make any sense. We cannot return a result set where one column contains only one value and the other one contains multiple values. In SQL, every output must have the same number of rows. This is why we are specifying the city column at the group by. We want to make the link between these two expressions. We want to make the SQL engine understand it should calculate the count by each city. So this is why all columns which we are specifying at the select clause, not including group functions, must always be mentioned at the group by clause. Third guideline. We can specify more than one column at the group by clause. For example, we can say select gender, marital, status, average, monthly, discount, from customers, group by gender and marital status. What is the average monthly discount by each gender and each marital status? If we want to make this query more clear, we can also add the order by clause. We can say order by gender. And now the results are sorted by genders. Another example, select state, city, count, star, from customers, group by state and city. How many customers we have in each state and each city. And again, we can use the order by clause. Now the results are sorted by state. Okay, so this is how we can use the SQL Server group by clause. Please feel free to ask any question you may have in the comments section below. And if you are looking for a way to practice what we have just learned, in ramkedem.com you will find hundreds of exercises on many different levels. More details can be found in the video description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.